Coming up next, these Oregon Sports Hall of Fame inductees made it to the top, competing alone. Liz Downing. In the 90s, she was one of the top duathletes in the world and the fastest multi-sports female on a bicycle. His face was often seen around town, but you might not know Mac McTarnahan was the most decorated Masters athlete in Oregon sports history. A true ambassador of golf and this state, Peter Jacobsen has kept fun as a big focus in his life. All next on Great Athletes, Great Oregonians.
Today's show will cover a variety of sports and the inductees who excelled at them. And we lead off with the great game of golf. And John, you know, of course, where golf got its roots.
Oh, everybody knows Bandon Dunes.
The modern game we know today is generally connected with Scotland back in the 15th century.
But a similar game with a stick and a leather ball was played in 1297 in the Netherlands.
It would seem the fascination of using a club to hit a ball into a hole is ageless.
And the centuries of players have provided sage advice about the game. Here in Oregon, our stately soothsayer of the fairway would be the one they call Jake, as in Peter Jacobsen.
Jake is an Oregon golfer through and through. From his clubhouse days at Waverly, to schoolboy golfer at Lincoln High School, to college fame with the Oregon Ducks. A three-time All-American and Pac-8 champion, Peter turned pro in 1976 and hasn't given up his tour card yet. In fact, the most recent of his 7 PGA Tour victories came just this year at the Hartford. Jake has represented the United States in 4 international competitions, including 2 Ryder Cups. Peter Jacobsen has become an even more familiar name to golf fans as a promoter, an announcer, designer, and entertainer. Peter has made golf fun and accessible to the fans of the Northwest and around the country. His company, Peter Jacobsen Productions, brought golf's biggest names to Portland year after year for the Fred Meyer Challenge and generated millions of dollars for charity. Jake helped design the scenic and treacherous Oregon Golf Club. Peter is one of the most popular announcers and hosts on the Golf Channel, and his book, Buried Lies, is a must-read for any golf fan. Now, don't forget the band. Jake, Trout, and the Flounders. They are regulars at tour functions with Peter singing and playing the guitar.
I started in golf as a caddy. My father loved the game and he wanted to teach us, but he taught us from the bag, carrying the bag first. We didn't really play until we had caddied and learned the game. And I started caddying for my father and my father's friends. And I remember caddying in the Oregon Opens. I caddied for Ralph Deester, the king of the coast.
Yeah.
So many times. I caddied for my accountant, George Mack, in the Portland City tournament so many times. So I started out as a caddy, and through caddying, I learned how to play the game of golf. I'd just like to thank everybody for the honor. Being an Oregonian, it means so much to me to continue to champion the cause of sports in Oregon. As I said, whether it's with the Ducks, the Beavers, the Blazers, the Vikings, it really doesn't matter what it is. I'm a diehard sports fan. I'm a diehard Oregonian. I will continue to wear my Oregon colors proudly, and I'll try to win more golf tournaments. My wife enjoys that because, as I said, I make the money and she does a great job of spending it. Thank you.
Oregon's most accomplished Masters athlete, Robert Mac McTarnahan, is the first Masters competitor ever chosen for induction into the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. This wiry Scot owns more than 50 Masters gold medals.
Mac McTarnahan had the world record holder in a 3,000-meter steeplechase in 1974, 1976, and 1982. He was world champion in a 300-meter steeplechase in Sweden in 1977. He was national master champion in 3,000-meter steeplechase 7 times. Canadian national champion 3,000-meter steeplechase 2 times. international and U.S. national senior Olympic champion 3,000 meter steeplechase. Won the gold medals in the Masters. In Hawaii, the international 15,000 meter run in 1976, 5,000 meter run in 1978, and 3,000 meter steeplechase. In China, he won the gold medal in 15,000 meter run and the 10,000 meter run in 1982. South Africa, he won the 3,000 meter run, 3,000 meter steeplechase. Jamaica and West Germany, the 3,000 meter steeplechase. And the Northwest Regionals, he also won the Masters 200 and 400 meter dash. 5 times he was Masters Wrestling Champion, and also he was College Conference Champion. Mac, the state of Oregon and the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame and the Mount Loma Athletic Club are proud of you. Congratulations.
The Sports Hall of Fame is a great organization. I'm so proud to be part of it. And I thank all you people for being here. And the best luck to us all. And stay in there and work out. That's the name of the game. Thank you all.
Mac passed away in 2004. We wanted to add a couple of thoughts to his legacy.
In addition to his athletic exploits, for many years, Mac was a generous contributor to the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame.
He loved sports and felt that this hall helped keep the fire of competition and life alive. The Family Trust has supported the hall's investment in our youth by funding college scholarships every year. The Oregon Sports Hall of Fame is grateful and salutes Mac and the McTarnahan family.
Next, the pride of Portland during the 70s. This athlete's speed and stamina in the ring are standards many strive for today.
Great athletes, great Oregonians from the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame is sponsored by Nike and by D.A. Davidson, financial advice for the long run.
D.A. Davidson, financial advice you can trust.
The Oregon Sports Hall of Fame recognizes and celebrates Oregon's rich athletic history. It's built on the premise that the lessons of sport provide a unique opportunity for self-discovery. Through an extensive memorabilia collection and exciting interactive exhibits, the Hall teaches and reinforces character and values. Each year, the Hall commits to lifelong rewards in the form of scholarships awarded to high school student athletes. Contact us about this process and the annual induction ceremony at your Oregon Sports Hall of Fame.
Raised and trained here in Portland, boxer Ray Lampkin Jr. won 50 amateur bouts, including 5 Golden Glove tournaments. As a professional, he won 35, 18 of them by knockouts. His courage and strength were his signature every time he entered the ring.
Tonight, the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame recognizes Mr. Ray Lampkin for his boxing accomplishments during the period of 1968 through 1976. Lightning Ray Lampkin, as he was referred to for his quickness and speed, had a record of 35 wins and became the American lightweight champion and the #1 contender of the world, and he eventually fought possibly the greatest lightweight champion in the world, Roberto Duran.
His determination to not only be successful in the ring, but outside of the ring, to be determined to stand in the face of all the challenges that he faced as a man growing up, young man, and to stay clear of all the distractions that sometimes catch up with folks that are involved in sports. And it's a delight to see him be successful today and to know that he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame here in Oregon.
Oregon should be very proud to have a man called Ray Lampkin, one of the best fighters to come out of here, but he also fought one of the greatest fighters in this century. All I can say is, Ray, you deserve this Hall of Fame thing. It couldn't happen to a nicer guy, and I love you, and I wish you the best.
I'd like to extend my sincere gratitude to all of the wonderful peoples that are here tonight in support of this very worthy cause. It is the employee of the Oregon State Hall of Fame, especially Ken and Krista, who made this event happen. It is my friend Frank Corso, the man who never let me forget who he is. and a man full of dedication and inspiration. I'd like to also thank personally and acknowledge the greatest fight manager of all time, Mr. Mike Motormouth Morton, who took me all the way to the top and brought me back again. I want to say one thing. Roberta Duran, if you somewhere, somehow, some way are hearing this tonight, I want to say let's get it on. Thank you, and God bless each and one of you.
Everybody's heard of the triathlon, but the duathlon challenges an endurance athlete's versatility with cycling and running. Liz Downing is a 5-time national duathlon champion and the fastest ever multi-sport woman on a bike. Her career duathlon record includes 64 first-place finishes. Here's the story of Hall of Famer Liz Downing.
I think in order to tell you, give you some idea of the way in which Liz dominated the sport of duathlon, she came off the bike entering the final run with a 5-minute lead, and she did that in a usual and customary way in just about every race. And I don't expect everybody to appreciate the magnitude of that. But imagine a marathon specialist who hits the halfway point with a 5-minute lead and then continues on to increase that lead the rest of the way, and to do it not once, but in every race, in all the big races, and to do it year after year. And that's the way it was with Liz in duathlon. In the one and only bicycle race that I am aware of that she ever competed in, and that was in a 40-kilometer time trial in New Mexico. She was a Category 4, which was the absolute bottom of the totem pole. You couldn't get any lower than that and still be a bike racer. And Liz took off and did the race, and she came back in, and everybody else was crossing the finish line and crumbling and falling over on their bikes and hitting the pavement and gasping for air. And Liz crossed the finish line fresh as a daisy because she was programmed as a duathlete to always leave something in the tank for the final run. And she dismounted from her bike and she said, "How'd I do?" And how Liz did was she set a new women's national record for 40 kilometers, and that still stands as one of the fastest times for American women of all time. Liz still remains the best known and best loved of all female duathletes ever in our sport, even though she hasn't been a duathlete for most of the past decade. You're a perfect fit, Lizzie, for the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame.
Because I started competing at the age of 9, my mom obviously had a really huge influence on my athletic career. She was always ready and willing to drive me to the track or to the golf course so that I could do my workouts. Every weekend during the spring and the fall, she would gather my 6 brothers and sisters and myself and drive 1.5 to 2 hours each way so that I could compete in my track meets and cross-country meets. And now that I am a mom of 2 children, I know how hard it is to get youngsters going, especially when my brothers and sisters knew where we were going and they really weren't too excited about going there. But anyway, my mom has always been there to support me in every way, and really without her dedication and determination, sacrifice, and willingness to help me achieve my athletic goals, I know I would not be standing here this evening. Thank you very much. This is a wonderful honor and something I will cherish for the rest of my life. Thank you.
D.A. Davidson, financial relationships built on loyalty.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me because I think parents and coaches err both ways. Sometimes they have to keep in mind that sports has to be fun, because after all, that's the primary reason for doing it. You're trying to get enjoyment out of it. And if it is fun, it'll be a long-lasting memory of enjoyment. But I also see some coaches and parents who say, look, we're only in here for fun and nothing else matters. And I think they err a little bit because not only does it need to be enjoyable, but it also needs to be a learning experience and a challenge. And you need to test yourself, and if you do well, feel good about yourself.
Professional golfer Bob Gilder is a lifelong Oregonian. He was born in Corvallis and attended Corvallis High School. Then it was on to Arizona State, where he walked on the golf team. That started a lifetime of successes and challenges, grace and balance. He's never forgotten his Oregon roots.
In the person of Bob Gilder, you are inducting a man who, through the sport of golf, reveals what citizenship can be at its best. Mr. Bob Gilder is a gentleman who happens to be a supreme professional golfer. Though he has produced much in a pressure-packed career, he leaves a portion of himself at each stop by expressing active goodwill in all relationships. Bob's closest associates would acknowledge balance to be one of his most obvious daily and professional positives. The record of Bob's career speaks for itself. This Ryder Cupper has a move, or swing, which can be compared to sailcloth, built to withstand rough going. Gilder has it all together when it counts. About this time, if Bob were here, he would probably speak up and say, "Yeah, I hear you, but stop stroking those folks on my behalf and tell them about some of my double bogeys. Even things up a bit." Well, here's how it is. There isn't room in our memory book of a single double bogey by Bob. In summary, Bob Gilder's fame is his character, tough as nails, but never, never mean. This is your Hall of Famer, Mr. Bob Gilder.
I'm having the wonderful honor of being inducted into the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame. My wife had no idea what I was going to do for a living. When I picked golf, she put up with all the ups and downs of this game. Mr. Obermeyer, he's been my coach, my teacher, and my friend for about 27 years. Interesting story about Paul. We started on a Tuesday of the Phoenix Open in 1976. He started working with me, getting me to hit 3 woods and 2 irons out of divots. And that was on a Tuesday. The tournament started on Thursday, and I won the tournament. It was my second tournament on tour, and Paul and I have worked together ever since that time. You know, I'm very proud of this honor, and I want to thank everybody that involved with the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame for this nomination and this honor tonight.
The lessons these inductees are sharing have the ability to impact all of us. High school student athletes are absorbing the lessons they see every day. With me now is Alyssa Ogle. She's a senior at Sheridan High School, star basketball player, but also plays softball and volleyball. What's your biggest accomplishment?
Probably girls basketball, because I was captain of the team this year, and we went to the state tournament for the first time since '92, I think. So.
And when you look at the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame, in the old days, there were all these student athletes who played multiple sports. Now it seems like, you know, probably your fellow students and a lot of the younger high school athletes are specializing in one sport. Why did you pick 3 sports? Why 3 sports, not 1?
Something to do, and all my friends did it, and I figured I was pretty athletic, so I decided to do all 3 of them.
And what did you get things in other sports that helped you? You know, did you get something out of softball that maybe helped you in volleyball, or was it just a matter of staying in competition?
Well, basically I started when I was really little playing all sports, and I also played soccer, but when you get to high school, small school, we don't have soccer and stuff, but I started when I was little and just kind of kept like wanting to do more and more and more, so I just kept starting to play every sport.
Is there something that you've learned in sports that you think will stay with you for the rest of your life?
Probably just determination, because I know how it is to be kind of successful, because of we won the state championship in volleyball this year, and in basketball I went to the state tournament, but I can take that with me when I go to school and stuff.
Now, you played on successful teams. You talked about state championship and playing at a high level. What do you think the difference between the teams that really succeed are versus some, you know, we see very talented teams who don't succeed. What are the differences in those 2 teams?
Well, I've been on those teams that haven't succeeded at all too. Like my sophomore year, we won 4 games in basketball, and then we come back my junior year to going to playoffs, and senior year going to state. And same in volleyball. My freshman year, we weren't very good. Came back, won the state title this year, and went 2 years in a row, or for the past 2 years. And I don't know, it just kind of seems like there's a difference between like how much time you put into it.
And I talk to athletes sometimes that are on bad teams, and I played on a lot of bad teams. You learn stuff on bad teams too, don't you, in sports?
Yeah, you can learn different types of people and stuff, and how it really plays out. It just kind of seems like if you work all year to it and you play a year round, then it'll work out for you in the end.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks.
Coming up next, how the recognized birthplace of sports in Oregon came to be.
D.A. Davidson, financial advice you can trust.
The Oregon Sports Hall of Fame recognizes and celebrates Oregon's rich athletic history. It's built on the premise that the lessons of sport provide a unique opportunity for self-discovery. Through an extensive memorabilia collection and exciting interactive exhibits, the Hall teaches and reinforces character and values. Each year, the Hall commits to lifelong rewards in the form of scholarships awarded to high school student athletes. Contact us about this process and the annual induction ceremony at your Oregon Sports Hall of Fame.
Great Athletes, Great Oregonians from the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame is sponsored by Nike and by D.A. Davidson, financial advice for the long run.
Back in 1891, 26 football players formed an athletic and social club called the Multnomah Athletic Club.
It's a complete club with many athletic opportunities, historic memorabilia, and provides social gatherings for its members.
The club has supported the development of sports and competitive athletics for over 100 years.
And that makes the MAC Club an inductee into the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame.
The Multnomah Athletic Club, a tradition in the city of Portland, Oregon for nearly 100 years, is a source of pride for athletes, members, and community leaders. When President Teddy Roosevelt arrived in Portland in the spring of 1911, his first words were, "By George, it's bully to be here again." Colonel Roosevelt's first order of business was to lay the cornerstone of the new Multnomah Athletic Club building before several thousand cheering onlookers. But the MAC Club had been a lively and respected organization for 10 years. In early 1891, members of the Portland Football and Cricket Club met to form a permanent athletic association and quickly gained a charter membership of 200. In the decade to follow, the club moved and expanded 5 times, lengthening its list of athletic and social offerings with its burgeoning membership of 2,000. When the Portland Rose Association was searching for a location for its floral exhibit, the MAC Club proved to be a willing host in 1904. This forerunner of the world-renowned Portland Rose Festival was only one of several community events sponsored by club members who were also respected community leaders. Among its long list of world and national title holders, the MAC Club is also proud of the 21 athletes from the club who represented America in the Olympic Games. Bert Kerrigan brought home a bronze medal in the high jump at the 1906 Games in Athens. In 1920, Thelma Payne won bronze and Hap Kuhn captured gold for diving at the Games in Paris. 1960 gold medal swimmer Carolyn Wood says coaching and support from the MAC Club helped make her dreams come true.
The coach makes all the difference, especially at that age. You have not internalized this ability to drive yourself. The coach has to be a driver. He has to be a father or a mother. He wipes away the tears and then he puts you out there and hurts you again. And you want to win for this person. You want to do your best.
Today, the Multnomah Athletic Club offers facilities unmatched in the country. The club's 18,000 members can choose from 2 swimming pools, including 1 Olympic regulation size. The current facilities also house 10 racquetball and handball courts, 10 squash courts, 7 indoor tennis courts, 3 weight rooms, 2 exercise rooms, as well as 2 gymnasiums and a gymnastics arena. As the Multnomah Athletic Club moves into its 2nd century, its commitment to athletics, family, and community will continue with the same high standards which have sustained the MAC Club for 100 years.
You know, for over 100 years, the MAC Club has been influential in the development of sport in Oregon.
All of the inductees featured on today's show had that competitive spirit when they were competing in athletics. Long after athletic competition, they took those things into business, into family, into other elements of their lives. I think that's a great lesson for the rest of us.
And look for more of those lessons on upcoming episodes of Great Athletes, Great Oregonians.
D.A. Davidson, financial relationships built on loyalty.